All right, we should be recording.
Yep. Oh, here's a few ladies. Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Kim?
I'm great. Jake, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I think we've got a bunch of fabulous women coming on.
Yay!
Yay! Yay!
Sorry, we had some technical part of what.
Yes, some technical difficulties. The fabulous part of this whole gig. Kim, you, I think you're having some. Are you good over there? Because your video's freezing up a little bit again.
And you're clear.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, well, we will get started, ladies. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Grow VIP Summit. Thank you so much for coming today to spend some time with Kim and myself. As we said, we had a few technical glitches, which is the cost of doing business when you are virtually facilitating as much as Kim and I do. These things happen. At least it's not yesterday where we had a massive crash of one of the biggest servers in the United States, which took half the world down. So that's good news that that's not happening. So welcome again. We're going to be asking you some questions throughout today's session. You can feel free to, throughout the webinar, type your answers to those questions into the chat box. We'll also be stopping to do some Q&A along the way. And in the chat box, you can interact with not only myself and Kim, but you can also interact with other participants on the webinar. And then if you have specific questions for Kim or myself, all you need to do is specifically click on the Q&A, and you can type your question in there, and we'll stop throughout the afternoon and answer those questions as we go. So before we get started, if you have any questions before we get started, please do type that into the chat. So we've got keeps cutting out. Kim's voice is patchy in and out. Hi, Jake, I had trouble getting in, but I'm now here. May the force be with you. Thank you. How is Kim's screen now, everyone? Is she good on your end? Thank you, Lisa.
Can you see me clearly now, Jake?
I can only see Jake. I can only see Jake. I can only see Jake. I'm not sure if people can see you, Kim.
Okay, I've got my video set.
No, Kim, only audio. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, Diana can't see you either, Kim. I can hear and see you fine, Jake. Now I see Kim. Oh, Donna Marie can see Kim now. Oh, isn't this fun, ladies?
It's fun. Times.
Kim, maybe you should go out and come back in. Can you or no? There she goes. All right, so she will come back in. Kim popped in for a sec. Yes, ladies. Thank you very much. The joys of technology. Wow, isn't this fun? Well, thank you all for being here today. Kim will come back in with us, so we will get started for now. As I said, welcome to the VIP Summit for our GROW program, which is a very exciting program for both Kim and myself, as well as a really exciting opportunity for all of you ladies on the summit today. So a few things we want to talk to you about to maximize your learning experience. You want to turn everything off. You want to, anything that's open in the background. So if you have Skype open, or you have iTunes open, or you have your email systems open, or any other programs that can distract you from your experience today, please shut them down and turn them off. If you can, silence your phone or put your phone away. I'm really the only one that should have a phone because I have to set a timer for a few of the exercises today. So please do. Thank you, Diana. And if you have a door, close it. If you don't, then hopefully you've got a way in your place to let everybody know that you are spending a good 90 minutes of your day-to-day learning something new for yourself and spending it with us. One of the biggest objectives of today is Kim and I want to go through this session with you and show you how our team can help take your service-based business to the next level. So all of the women that are on the phone today, most of you, according to your interests, let us know that you've got high-value content. You also do face-to-face coaching, or you do face-to-face consulting. You are currently doing either small group, one-on-one, or you are facilitating workshops and you are facilitating seminars face-to-face. That is really the profile of the woman that fits into this program. Also, you all received your Grow workbook, so please make sure you have that printed and in front of you and ready to go. And you've got a pen and you've got your thinking cap. Open your mind, get comfortable, and get ready for a great learning experience with us today. Hopefully Kim can come back in and join us. It looks like she's trying to get in right now. So tell us in the chat box, why are you here? I'm interested in why each of you specifically signed up for this summit today. Feel free to type it in the chat. Amy, I want to learn how to grow my business and get more clients. I'm a Jake fan. Oh, Lisa, thank you. I'm a Lisa Martin fan. I have been for years. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Thanks, Amy. What about everybody else we've got on the phone here? Jody, Karina. Why? To get expertise in online offerings such as e-program, YouTube channel, etc. Excellent. Okay, great, Jody. Anyone else? This is my year to jump, learn, grow, taking advantage of all opportunities to hone skills. Excellent. That's a great answer, Diana. All right, we've got some fabulous answers from you. I've been hesitant to turn my magic into online content because I don't see how I can keep the magic alive that I do. Ooh, Donna Marie, that's one of my favorite topics. Let me tell you, we're going to talk about that today. We're actually going to talk about all of the items that you ladies are bringing up on the chat. So excellent, setting up a home studio, microphones, green screens. Yeah, Jody, I'm a friend of Mary Beth and Tina's, and it was suggested I participate. Curious to see what this can do for me, although, okay, no problem, Maureen. I have no idea how to create online content. Well, excellent, Amy, you're in the right spot. So tell us, how long have you been thinking about an online offering? How long have you been thinking about this? 2 years, Karina, wow. Maybe ask folks to put their chat to everyone. I think you're only seeing most of these. Yes, ladies, please make sure you've got your chat to everyone on your chat option, not just to myself. Couple of months, a year, 3 years or so, 18 months. Excellent. Some great answers there. So you're in the right place. You currently deliver seminars, you currently deliver workshops, keynotes, training, coaching, consulting, advisory services, and you want to diversify your revenue. Generally, that is one of the biggest drivers for women who own face-to-face service-based businesses looking at creating an online offering. It's really about diversifying your revenue and driving yourself into new markets. You're an established entrepreneur. That's one of the pieces of the GROW program that is really important for you to know and understand. This program is for established entrepreneurs, and you're looking to increase your reach and influence your influence in new markets. Donna Marie, on the chat, I can't see other participants. You need to click to everyone in the chat in order to see everyone. You should be able to see everyone. Thank you, Kim. So you're in the right place if this is also a part of where you currently are. You're also in the right place if you've thought about transitioning your face-to-face brand and reputation to include a powerful online presence, but you don't know how. That came up in the chat quite a bit at the beginning of the session, and Kim and I know intimately that that's a very common, it's a very common obstacle that women run into once they've got powerful face-to-face brands and they think about making that jump and making that transition to an online offering. You're also in the right place. You know you've got great content and you know you have a lot to offer. Your current clients as well as new clients that you would bring into your life through an online offering, but you do not know where to start. You're in the right place with Kim and I today. So the reality of all of this is women entrepreneurs that are looking to make a change like this face 4 big reasons not to make the leap online. There's way more than 4, but there's 4 that are fairly common that we run into repeatedly. Almost every day I have a conversation, and Karina's on the session today. It was a conversation Karina and I had months ago. I've also had it with a couple other of the women on the phone. The leap is big, and it seems insurmountable for women that are accustomed to that. I see your eyes, I look into your eyes, I can connect with you in the classroom, I can feel your energy, I can see what's happening for you. And when you make the leap online, it's really difficult to understand how you can possibly maintain that connection. And I can tell you it's possible. And I have personally facilitated online for over 350 hours of virtual facilitation. I have way more in-class hours than virtual, but I can say that the first time I facilitated virtually, I really had to find my rhythm. I had to find my way, and I needed to understand exactly how to not only drive engagement, but also keep my learners moving through the content and keep my learners engaged. And one of the most important parts about learning online virtual facilitation for me was about that sustainment piece. What happens when people leave the session? What does that look like if I wasn't able to have an intimate face-to-face experience with them? And we're going to talk about that today as well, and what that transition looks like. First one, don't know where to start is one of the 4 big reasons. We saw that reason typed out today in the chat. It is one of the biggest obstacles that entrepreneurs, particularly women entrepreneurs, face when they are thinking of a transition or growing their offer to include an online offering. Don't know who to be online. It's another common obstacle Kim and I often talk to women entrepreneurs about. They are not quite sure who they will end up being in a virtual modality. They don't understand particularly women who have established businesses and have been dealing with their clients face to face for long periods of time. There's a concern, will they resonate with their clients? They don't know what that personality is going to be. They're not clear on what that brand is going to be about when they make that leap, and it's a genuine concern for a lot of women thinking about diversifying their offering. Another one we hear, don't know how to transition content and facilitation skills. One of the things that I can share with you is that in-class content generally does not work online. It's a very different nuance, how you put content together, and transitioning your content from an in-class experience to a virtual experience takes a significant amount of design and development understanding when you are looking at chunking out what an in-class workshop or seminar looks like versus what a virtual experience looks like, particularly if you're dealing with larger groups of people or small group coaching. There's a very different dynamic when you're talking about how your content works, how your content flows, what your content looks like. Content when you are facilitating in class or in workshops, you can slide a few things that you can't slide virtually, because if you're dealing with people who are not really familiar with you yet, or you're trying to grow your brand into new markets, and Karina and I just had this discussion a couple of weeks ago, your content's got to go to the next leg up when you're talking about online virtual content. And your facilitation skills are a whole nother ballgame, which we're going to talk about as well today. Technology. Technology is definitely, I would say, what if you only work one-on-one, not even in-person workshops? Can you create virtual content? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, you can, Amy, and we're going to talk about that today as well. Thank you. That was an excellent, excellent question. And so when you're talking about technology, I remember I've got a funny story, and Kim will laugh. I don't know if Kim's back on with us. I think she is, but I'm not sure. I remember when.
Ma'am, are you?
Yeah, I can see you, but you're frozen still. I remember when I started thinking about how I was going to do this. Even with my 350 plus hours of virtual facilitation, there's a big difference between virtual facilitation and having a channel of your business be completely delivered online. Those are two completely different ball games. Yes, Karina, absolutely. And technology is scary. And technology, when you don't understand the roadmaps of technology as it relates to how you deliver your services and how you communicate, it can become even more frightening for women when they start researching this transition. So we're going to talk about that today as well, what that looks like in reality on the ground, and how those things happen, and how we go through teaching the women that are going to work with us and grow to actually take their content package and transition it to high value virtual content. So those are the things that Kim and I commonly talk to women entrepreneurs about who have established face-to-face services. So what about you ladies? Why don't you in the chat talk to me about those 4 reasons? Do they resonate? You've mentioned some of them already. Take it a little bit deeper. Which one specifically gives you the biggest amount of heartburn? Why don't we try that? Transitioning content. Yes, absolutely, Amy. Where to start, yes. Anybody else? Where to start equals who to be online. Yes, absolutely, Diana. Who to be online. Absolutely. Okay, so we'll keep moving along. I've got over 300 hours facilitating international classes online. I work virtually one-on-one, still stuck with what I said before about the magic. Yeah, the magic sauce is something that takes a while to find your game on, Donna Marie. So absolutely, we're going to talk about that today, and we dig into that. We dig into that quite deep in the Grow program as well. So it sounds like you're in the right place. So Kim and I are going to share a little bit with you about us. So you can see on the screen, and Lisa Martin will find this quite humorous because she remembers Jake from Bay Street quite intimately, I'm sure. I have an MBA. I have 21 years of corporate experience, not only in large corporate commercial banking, but I also have a very deep background in corporate learning design, development, and infrastructure build. I also have been a sales leader and a marketing leader in my career. I ventured into the types of banking where you didn't find many women. I did a lot of commercial real estate banking. I did a lot of mining and a lot of lumber, and I was in auto for a very long time. So I've existed essentially in my entire career in male-dominated hierarchies and a male-dominated definition of success. And it became very clear to me that I didn't fit. And my journey to here has been really an exponential leap. I don't do anything. I don't do anything halfway. And for those of you who know me, and those of you who have talked to me, and those of you who have worked with me, being Kim mostly, I don't. That's not how I operate. And for me to take this leap was big, and it's been a wonderful journey, and it matters to you for a couple of reasons that you're going to see as we move through the summit today. The reasons behind why I've done what I've done with my career and how it will help you and learners in the Grow program is an important thing for you to know. Kim, do we have you back?
I'm here, but I'm not sure how.
I got you. Yeah, got you loud and clear, babe. Yeah, go. Yay!
Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so I was working online before most people were working online. I started in web design and was an early adopter of social media back probably 16, 17 years ago. And a lot of what I've done is help entrepreneurs move from offline to online. I started delving into online courses and more sort of digital products 4 or 5 years ago. And so the past sort of 4 years has really been focused on helping entrepreneurs move more into the online space, and particularly with digital products and facilitating online. So my goal is to help as many women as humanly possible to be able to take their business into this space, because there's so many benefits, huge benefits to working virtually and working online versus brick and mortar or offline business.
Excellent. Thank you, Kim. So now you ladies know who you're dealing with. We're quite the dynamic duo, I have to say. I really have to say. Thank God Kim doesn't wear red lipstick as well. She leans toward pink, which is good, because I think two of us with red lipstick would be far too much for everybody. Okay, so as I said, our realities and our experience matter for more than a few reasons to the women that are going to work with us and grow. And we've both taken this leap, and it's led us here, which has been a wonderful experience for both of us. And as you get to know us better and you get to understand and know our partnership, there's quite a few funny stories behind all of it, which you know, as you work with us in the program, you'll come to understand even more intimately. I've already told Kim she's not allowed to make fun of me in front of you guys, but I know it's going to happen. I know.
I'm being very quiet today, aren't I, Jake?
Yeah, you are. You are. As I said, our stories matter to where you're at, and we really want to make that clear to you today. We are not talking about anything that we haven't lived ourselves, breathed ourselves, cried over ourselves, panicked. Kim and I even have a 911 system between each other. So we understand exactly where you're at, and our experience matters. And our experience is also something we are really excited to share with all of you today, and in turn in the GROW program. As I said, we've both been where you are right now, sitting in your exact chair, feeling exactly how you feel right now, and we know what that's about. So a few things we want to talk about today about massive value of your workbook. The GROW workbook that we designed for the session is really important for you. It's going to provide an initial foundation for your ideas, your thoughts about what you're hearing today. Even if you think it's crazy, write it down. Trust me, trust me, trust me. It isn't crazy. Whatever vision you have for your business online, we can make happen. I'm living it. I've done it. People told me what I've done was nuts. And when you go and see, for those of you who have yet to be on the Learning Lab, and you go and see the infrastructure that we have built, people told me I was absolutely loopy. I did not listen because I know what's possible, and I know how to bring technology, marketing, sales, learning, women, fun, cartwheels together in one spot. And the other thing I did was I went out and found a team of phenomenal women in this country to come and deliver learning across 15 disciplines. And by the end of this year, Kim, where are we going to be? What was our estimation? 55 disciplines by the end of the year in the lab?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. So massive value out of your workbook today. Be honest with yourself. Trust your answers. Don't edit yourself today. Don't stroke things out because you think it's crazy. It's not. Stay with it. Stick with us today and write your dreams down, because really the way we've designed the GROW program, and I know it sounds cheesy and Kim's probably going to get angry, but the GROW program is a dream builder. And it's the foundation of a lot of women's dreams. And we're really excited for you to put some of the strategies we're even going to talk about today in action. Some of them are readily applicable when you get off the call today. Top 3 things you like most about your business. Okay, ladies, pull your workbooks out. We are going to start in your workbook. So you are going to be on page, what page is it, Kim? I have my pages all mixed up.
Yeah, it's page 4.
Okay, ladies, page 4. What are the top 3 things you like most about your business? I will give you 2 minutes to write these things down. The timer has started. You know, Kim, this was a really hard question.
Yeah, you know, I was considering the same questions this morning as I was flipping through the workbook. And can I just jump in on something that you said just a few minutes ago, Jake?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
You said dream big and don't put these limitations on it. And I think that's really one of the biggest joys of working online and taking your business online, is that you don't have the same kind of limitations. If you can dream it, you can really do it. And the online space makes it's a much bigger opportunity to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So I think that's really important, to not stay in the box of what we believe the constraints might be, but rather to, you know, really look at what the vision and the big dream is, and then figure out how you make it happen, because we can do that online.
Absolutely. Okay, ladies, your next section. Your 3 biggest obstacles to growth right now. Even if it sucks and it hurts to write it down, write it down. Write it down, because it's going to be important. It's going to be so important for you to look back. I can't even explain to you how important these 3 things are going to be, because we are going to map these exact obstacles to your growth during your experience in the program. So these are really, really important. You know, I hate how the word really and very have become so terrible due to Donald Trump, because they're good words. They're good words.
Well, luckily we have an entire language that we can use that has all kinds of words that are descriptive, and it's perception, right? A lot of it's perception of words.
Absolutely. And online, we're going to talk about that later in the session. You know that, Kim, about virtual facilitation and how things don't translate the same way.
Mm-hmm. And for anyone who's here who doesn't have an online business or hasn't moved their business fully online yet, you know, the most relatable thing is text, because there's not necessarily tone, intonation, and all of those things that go along with it. And so that is part of moving the business online.
Absolutely. Okay, ladies, so at the bottom of your page there, you've got a statement. And I'm just going to run you through what that statement is. And if you miss one of the words, that's okay, because you're going to get the recording. But this is an important statement for you to consider. Expanding my established service-based business into a powerful online brand requires me to transition my face-to-face content and learn how to facilitate virtually. So again, if you've missed one of the words, that's okay. You're going to have the recording. But that's a really important statement for you to keep in mind as we go through the session today. So here's what Kim and I know. And it's great when you have enough confidence in yourself to say, here's what we know. And we do know. Expanding your established service-based business into a powerful online brand requires you to transition your face-to-face content and learn how to facilitate virtually. There is your fill-in statement. And there is a lot going on in that statement. And again, I want you to keep it front and center as we go along. And all of you have pointed out that for yourselves today as well. So what does all of this mean for you? At the end of the day, this is a big question. And it's one you're going to have to spend some time thinking about. But to Kim and I's point a few times today, and we're not going to stop saying this, dream as big as you want, because we guarantee you one of us can make it happen. Trust us when we talk to you about that. Yes, Jody, expanding your service base. Oh, Jody typed it out. Thank you, Jody. Fantastic. We appreciate that. It means you can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish and create whatever you want to create. There is no limitation to what you can do online. The box that you put yourself in or the box that other people put you in, and let me tell you, in Grow, you're going to hear about the box that Kim and I spent a lot of our lives in. Some of it self-created, a lot of it institutionally created. We're all in a box of some sort. And the great thing that you can do for yourself online is you can kick the walls of that box out. And if you have the right people in your corner and the right approach, and you're doing all of the right things with the right information, and there's so much information, and Kim and I are going to talk to you about that. There's stuff coming from, you followed this person and that person, and they're making $60 million, and you're on a webinar, and some guy's showing you his $22 million bank statement. There is a lot of noise out there. At the end of this, there's a very practical system that makes this happen. And that's one of the things we're going to work with our learners on in the Grow program. So what does it mean for you first? A virtual brand. Does that statement scare anyone? Ladies, in the chat, bring it. Ooh, yes, a little bit. Look at Andrea. She's like, bring it. Oh, Kim and I love that. Nope, ready for it. Excellent. Hell no, Michelle, exciting. Excellent. Woohoo. We love it. We love it. Okay, so we are going to talk to you today about what a virtual brand is and what a virtual brand is not. Kim, can you do me a favor? What slide number is this? I can't see it.
What slide number or workbook? I don't have the slides in front of me, doll.
Okay, I can't see it on the webinar. It's kind of weird. Anyway, sorry. See, these are the things that happen virtually.
Today we're often inspired by people we never meet.
Yes. So what we're going to talk about now is really, if someone's never met you face to face, how in the world would you inspire them? Think about that question. So think about people that you've seen or met online who have inspired you, but you have yet to meet them. Think about some of the characteristics that they've got. Think about some of the things you remember, like what do you remember about someone you've seen on a video on Facebook, or you've read one of their ads, or you have interacted with them in a virtual setting. You've seen them, but they haven't seen you. Think about how you're inspired with that person and why you're inspired with them. Yes, Andrea, it's absolutely about words, but it is way more than that. It is way more than that. Being magnetic really helps. Absolutely, it does. So spend some time and in your workbook, make a couple of notes about this. So what we're going to talk about first is in your workbook on page 5, understanding what a virtual brand isn't and what a virtual brand is. So we're going to go with the gut here, and we're only going to take 2 minutes to do this. The workbook says 3, but we're going to go for 2 because we want to make sure, due to technical difficulties, we don't run too far over time for you ladies today. So 3, 2, 1, go. A virtual brand is blank. A virtual brand isn't blank. Kim, did you do this one?
Of course I did, Jake.
It's a weird one. I was actually, when we talked about this, it was a little bit of a shocking answer. So I'm going to be interested to see how all the ladies feel about it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a really interesting question because, again, it's about perception about what a virtual brand is versus what an offline, a virtual brand isn't, right?
Right. Yep. Okay, ladies, I'm sure you're all curious about what the answer to this question is, so I'm going to give you the answer. A virtual brand is intangible, and a virtual brand isn't intangible. It's like in the Matrix, there is no spoon.
We had to bring it back to the Matrix, didn't we?
I always got to bring it back to the Matrix, baby. They were, you're bending my mind. Yes, that's the point. Because an online brand does bend people's minds because it isn't intangible. I can't, and I'm a hugger Lisa Martin knows this. I'm a huge hugger. And, I love touching people. And when I'm a facilitator, I'm very, very animated, and I clap and I jump. Even when I'm teaching bankers, I clap and jump, and it resonates because I can pull it off. I can do that in class. I'm a very tangible person. I'm hugging you, Jake. Oh, thank you, Lisa. So a virtual brand is intangible, but at the same time, it isn't, because you have to be able to create that tangible connection. So people want more. People want to hear you. People want to listen to you. People want to share about you. People want to talk about you. Even people that have never met you. And there's going to be a lot of customers as you grow your business online you're never going to meet. And you need to know and understand how to build that intimate connection with those people and move them through your services. This isn't all about learning. I really want everyone to understand that. Not everyone needs to be Kim and I, where you're creating massive, big programs. If you have one-on-one coaching that you want to move into a virtual modality, or you're a financial advisor and you've got permission to go across a border because you know there's a bunch of people there that you can help with your services, but you want to do this kind of thing with them online, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a very broad scope of offerings. It's not just about creating a program or a course. It's about transitioning a channel of your current service-based face-to-face business into an online offering. Kim, do you have anything to add there?
I was just pondering when we say we never meet. And I think, traditionally we've thought of meeting as face-to-face, standing in the same room.
Yes.
And the reality of the virtual world is that we are meeting people in different ways and different spaces all the time. And so learning how to communicate with different people in different mediums is a huge part of this, because we're no longer standing 2 feet away from each other and having a conversation.
Yep, absolutely. And you've got to be able to, you have to be able to transition, and we're going to talk a little bit about customer client love today. And that's a really big part about it. How do you, some of the people that I work closest with online, never met them, never will. And yet I love them like they're my brothers and sisters. And a couple of them I could not live without, because I need them so much. And we've been able to develop a really honest, authentic bond and move our businesses forward together. And it's a very powerful thing when you can do that. Okay, ladies, page 6 in your workbooks. A strong virtual brand is about clarity, and clarity of a virtual brand is different, and here's why. Customers and clients are often inspired by business leaders we never meet. We've talked about this. We've talked about who's inspired you. In today's global world, your interactions are going to be increasingly remote. Write that word down, remote. Not always virtual even. Sometimes they're never going to see you. If you're hosting a webinar of 350 people like Kim and I do, we can't be on camera like this all the time. We can't have a chat open all the time, because when you have 300 people on a session, you can't have 300 people on a chat. It's just not manageable. So sometimes it's completely black box remote. How do you connect with people then if they can't see you? It's a really interesting skill to develop.
Or Jake, I'm going to just add in here, what if you're not actually there with them, right? Like a lot of online courses, you're not actually there with them. They're watching it, or Facebook live feeds after the fact.
Yes.
You have to still be able to connect with them even when you're not interacting.
Yes, absolutely. And Kim, it's like, and a couple of the ladies on the phone today did the Power Circle Challenge with us in January. And although we provided content and we did live videos every morning, you were on your own to create your own results. And so if you have learners in your programs, or you have courses that are going to be in the total online virtual modality, you still have to keep people motivated and moving and learning and growing. Now, fortunately for you, in the GROW program, that will not be your experience. You can see already from the depth of what we're talking about today, this is a very hands-on experience, and it has to be. Because when Kim and I are dealing with women who want to take a total channel of their business and put it into the digital modality, that's not here, watch a bunch of videos, good luck, have a good time. Now, that works. That really works well with some sorts of offerings, but not what you ladies are looking at doing with your businesses. Again, on page 6, when I decide to grow my business into virtual offerings, I need to lead my business in 3 ways. We've mentioned each of these. Writing digital communications. That includes emails. Email. We talk a lot about email in GROW. In virtual meetings. Through online offerings, programs, and sessions. Again, if you miss that sentence, that's okay, because you're going to get the recording and you can go back through it. This process starts with giving yourself permission to push through the fear. A few of you have been brave enough today to let us know what your obstacles are, what you're concerned about. things that are on your mind. So on page 6, take a couple of minutes. What's holding you back? Write 2 things down right away. What's holding you back? This page is going to be important later. I mean, like months later. It's going to be really important. Take a couple minutes. Write something down for yourself. Really explore what is that obstacle? Kim and I can guarantee you we can probably guess. We can probably guess because we've been there.
And you're not alone in those, you know, ladies, you're not alone in these fears. Like there are a lot of, probably, I'm going to guess they're about the same fears that most other female entrepreneurs have about moving into the online space. So you generally get the same kind of answers because they relate to everyone.
They do. What's interesting about it, though, is that a virtual brand based on IP is incredibly attractive for buyers. Yes, it is. It definitely is, Andrea, if the IP is right. And that's where the whole transitioning in-class content to virtual content really becomes an important part of the process. Thank you for that, Andrea. Excellent. All right, ladies, so you gave yourself some permission. So now we're going to talk about love. And you know what? You're going to hear about love with Kim and I all the time. And it's a really important intellectual property. Intellectual property, Amy, is IP. Client and customer love. Connect with your client customer love. And in Grow, we're going to bring you back to it all the time. You want to know why? Because this is not an easy process. So we are going to remind you consistently that your customers and your clients love you. Even the ones that don't know you love you. We know this. Come back to your client and customer love. Bring yourself back into the why. Why do your clients and customers love you? Make sure you keep this page. After you get off the summit today, open this page up and write. Write about why your clients and customers love you, because it's going to be fundamental to your foundation of your online brand. We can help you transition that love. We can help you build that love. We can help you sustain that love. We can help you grow that love. This is going to be really important as we go forward. All right. Refine your message. Okay, ladies. I know that you're all keeners because I'm pretty familiar with most of you ladies. Do you have a positioning statement for your business? In the chat, yes or no? I'm not talking about a mission or a vision. I'm talking about positioning statement. No. Okay. Thanks, Amy. No. Diana. Okay. Yes. Not sure. What is a positioning statement? Okay.
Good
on
question.
page 8, Jody, there is a positioning statement. Please read it. Kim, remember the day this happened?
Jake, all the days have blended together, my friend.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. That's really nice.
No, I mean that with absolute love.
Yeah. I can never make those heart things. Oh, there we go. Oh no, there we go.
I know it's challenging, right? Well, I have those bendy thumbs that bend back, so it never actually looks like.
How come everyone else can do that and I can't? Okay, so we've got a few people that have them, we don't. Okay, you've read the positioning statement on page 8. Okay, on page 9, you have a few questions in the chat. Number 1, after reading the statement, do you know what the business does?
Just to be clear, are we talking about the LEAP positioning statement, Jake?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we know what the business does? Do we know how the business does it? Do we know who the business offers its services to? Do you know what the business does for its customers? If you saw this, which you have now, positioning statement, you knew nothing about it, nothing about the Learning Lab, nothing about, you've never seen me, never seen Kim, have no idea who we are or what we're about. Would you want to know more? Would you want to know more? Yes. Can you feel what's important to the business and what the business stands for? Yes, and I would refer to others. Ah, Diana! Double guns! Choo, choo! Locked and loaded. Yes, that is it. That's the magic sauce. That's a part of the magic sauce, Diana. Thank you. You're the best. I love when that happens. That's good learning design, Garnett, right in action. All right. So if you do not have a positioning statement, do not fret. We are going to work on them. We are going to create them. We are going to talk about what they look like. Can you, here's the question, Brady girl, can you have a positioning statement that is services your face-to-face clients and your virtual clients? Can you do it? Yes.
Are you asking me this question?
I am, and your answer is yes, you can.
Ask it again.
Can you have a positioning statement which services both a face-to-face client base and a virtual client base?
You know, I have my own answer to that, but it's a long, lengthy answer.
Always a negotiation, always a negotiation. All right, ladies, so on your page 10, make some short notes about the positioning statement that you read. Start jotting some things down. Yes, one can lead back, the other back and forth. Again, double guns for Diana. Boo boo. Yes, they can. Want to know why? Because I do it every day. We are going to dig into positioning statements, huge in the Grow program. Okay, next one, speak your brand. Okay, on page 11, you have a few blanks, 5 must-dos. Number 1, understand your audience. Do you know Lisa, Kim?
No, but she said that she's gotta go. So I was just
oh, bye, Lisa. Thank you.
Us. Yeah.
Oh, you need to know Lisa. She's awesome. Okay, number 1, understand your audience. Number 2, deliver a clear message. Number 3, watch your volume. Inflection and cadence. The trifecta of destruction is what I like to call that. Volume, inflection, and cadence.
We need a really beautiful image for that one, Jake.
We do. We do. Be mindful of your tone. And the biggest one, believe it or not, listen. Who would have thought?
Bigger.
Yes.
Bigger.
Listen bigger.
2 ears, 1 mouth.
You will come to understand why listening virtually is bigger than listening face to face. Okay, on page 11, the tone of my voice must align with the meaning of my message. I'm going to give you an example. This session today, I know most of you. Either I've met you face to face, or I've met you in an intimate conversation through an email, one-on-one. I've been on a face-to-face session with you, or I've interacted with you in a Facebook group where you've seen me live on camera, so you know who I am, you know what I'm about, or you could figure it out. If I was on this session with women I did not know, I would not be doing double guns. I would not be laughing as much as I am with Kim. You have to know and understand your audience. And Kim and I will talk to you in the program about one of the biggest pitfalls women fall into when they facilitate virtually, and it's their voice. Now, I'm lucky. I have a low voice. Naturally, I have a very low tone to my voice. I have a very steady cadence. For those of you that did the Power Circle Challenge, I think 5 or 6 of you mentioned that to me in posts, how when I speak and I'm giving instructions, my cadence is very slow. I have a way of repeating things but not saying the same thing. I'm lucky in that way, and that's probably why I've translated online so well. But Kim, you and I talk about that a lot. Women's voices, their tone goes way too high when they start to facilitate virtually. And that on the other end, when people are listening to you on a computer or on headphones like this, not a good situation. So that trifecta, volume, inflection, cadence, we walk through, what is it, almost 2 weeks of that is involved in the GROW program. It's one of the most intense parts we talk about. Anything to add there, Kim?
No, I was just going to say, you know, we hear a lot online about be yourself, be authentic, be yourself, be authentic. And there is a balance that needs to be found, right? You still got to be able to read your audience, and you can still do that while being authentic. You can still facilitate virtually in some of the ways that we'll talk about, and still be authentic.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's important because it's a large conversation online.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely it is. All right. So we've talked about speak your brand. So we have a couple of things that we want to talk about. 5 must-dos of virtual delivery. There's in the online landscape, branding takes on 3 additional dimensions. So the things that I mentioned off of your page 11 are your must-dos, your 5 must-dos of your virtual delivery. And as Kim and I said, we're going to dig into that big time in the GROW program. Now we're going to shift gears. 3 dimensions of the online landscape. Kim and I know this so well. On page 12, you've got 3 blanks. Your first one is control your online content. And there is a lot behind that statement. And in GROW, we dig into that a lot. Because in today's world of sharing, so Diana, you mentioned something about referring something to someone else. There's danger in people sharing your message because they will add their own hashtags and their own statements and their own this and their own that. And then all of a sudden you're looking at your brand and they're saying, you know, they're making statements about your brand that aren't true. So how do you control your content? How can you possibly do that? Kim and I know how to do that. And it is a system. And it's a system that we're going to talk to you about. And it's a very, very involved system. And you have to have it. Number 2, power of video. If you do not like being on camera, better get over it. Better figure it out. Got to do it. There's no negotiation today. And managing your brand. You know, what is your brand? So we start, what is your actual brand? We look at your in-class brand and we talk about how we facilitate the transition and how we grow it. You're not going to totally transition it, most likely. Women who like to do face-to-face stuff, keep doing face-to-face stuff. I do it. I'm doing it tomorrow. I love it. It's my jam. But I love facilitating virtually as well. And
you can do both, Jake.
Yes.
Like you can do all of it. It doesn't have to be a this or that.
Nope, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Now, I don't think people would facilitate the stuff I like to facilitate, Kim, which is structuring credit deals.
Me included, not interested.
Most women, facilitate face-to-face, much more interesting things than that. In the program, we take a deep, deep dive into these 3 dimensions of online landscape, and it is vital. It is vital when you go to make this transition and you expand yourself this way that we talk about how you control those 3 things. Okay, big statement. Your current business will not automatically work online. It will not. To get the results you want, you need a transition system, and it is a system. There's a lot of great ideas. You have great ideas. I had one of the other core team members of the lab say something to a woman who wanted to apply for her program. She said, "Yeah, we can do that." I had to FaceTime her and say, no, you can't. Because she thinks that she can do exactly what she does face to face automatically and it'll work. So all these ideas and all these things you know about how you manage your business today, you have to have a transition system. And Kim and I have developed one in Grow. Kim, Jody's got a question. What if you're your own brand integrated with facility you work with in regards to managing your brand? Jody, we can talk about that actually. Hey, Kim, look, that's you and me.
Hey, is this Arbutus Ridge on Vancouver Island, Jody? I'm interested to know if you're also on this island. Oh, you are. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Jake and I are in two completely different regions in Canada. So, so what if you are your own brand that is integrated with the facility I work with regards to managing your brand? Do you mean, so I'm unsure about what the exact question is then. Can you do it? Yes. Should you? Yes. Like there's some pros and cons, and you need to know all of it, so you know how, are your brands merging, are they overlapping, are they completely separate, and you sort of have to know that going into it, because there's ramifications for all of those different situations. Jake?
Yes, and absolutely. And Jody, one of the things that we're going to also talk about in the program is memorandums of understanding. For those of you that have partnerships or collaborations, for example, Kim and I have our own businesses. Kim and I have, how many joint ventures do we have now? Are we? We're on our third. Yeah. We're pushing towards our third.
A few.
We are living this. The lab is living this, ladies. For those of you who have been on the lab, you see a picture of 10 women. 10 women from 10 different parts of Canada who I haven't seen Charlene face-to-face since October. And before October, I hadn't seen Charlene face-to-face for 4 years. I've never met Karina. Kim and I have never been in the same room.
Never.
Never
and
been in the same room.
We partner in business ventures.
Yes.
Right?
So in Grow, we're going to talk to you about that. So Jody, that is a very applicable question, particularly if you brand share. If you are jodyjackson.com and you've got a JV or a partnership, we can talk about that. We're also going to, in the program, we're going to encourage you to find partners. And Kim and I know exactly how to do it, and it's a part of our transition plan as we go.
Jake, I'm just going to do a time check. It's 2:10.
Yep, got ya. Okay, so Grow gives you a transition plan. We are going to talk to you and walk you through the Grow program. Our 5-step transition system. Number 1, virtual brand building. This is the most intense part of the program. Kim and I love this. Oh my God, we love this process. Then I am going to take you through virtual facilitation skills. I'm going to take you through the corporate part of virtual facilitation skills. Kim is going to take you through the less corporate part of virtual facilitation skills, because those things are different. You need to know and understand how to facilitate in both of those bailiwicks. And we're going to teach you what we both know about each. Content conversion. This is Jake's favorite part of the program. Not so much Kim's, very much Jake's. And the reason it's my favorite part of this program is because I have converted 220 in-class assets to virtual assets. And when you hear me say the word assets, I mean this. This is an asset. Your content is an asset. Just because you don't have brick and mortar doesn't mean you don't own assets. Just because you don't have a machine or inventory or shoes on a shelf, you have assets. And we are going to teach you intimately what your assets are. And the biggest one you have is you and your brand. Content conversion. We love that part. Technology know-how.
This is my jam.
Over to you, baby. Over to you.
You know, there is so much to know about technology and how it all links together and integrates, and how platforms work together, and which ones you need and which ones you don't, and You know, whether you just buy in once and then someone else maintains it for you, or you maintain it yourself. You know, there's so much to know. So we're gonna dive into the technology behind bringing your offline assets online.
Absolutely. Some confusion between the boundaries of me and them marketing. Yes, overlapping, I think, I'm part of their brand. Okay, well, we can talk about that. Yes, absolutely, Jode. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in the program. We'll talk about that.
Hold on a sec, Jake. So Andrea says this is a huge piece that keeps women spinning. And I'm going to tell you, Andrea, that I have had a business for 15 plus years that has done extraordinarily well because of this issue, because technology is scary, because you don't know what you don't know. So sometimes you don't know it until you get into it, and then you go, oh my God, I didn't even know that I had to do that piece of it. So thank you for bringing that up. You're right. And Jake, sorry, Diana says, what about network marketing or MLMs? Maybe that's in regards to the branding, the joint ventures? I'm unsure.
Yes. So Diana, network marketing, we are, and it's interesting that you asked that question. And I know you are friends with Tina. So why don't we, there's going to be like things in Grow absolutely will be applicable to your world more than you know. And there's another discussion that we can have with you and I and Tina probably closer to the summer. But Grow is definitely, and if you talk to Tina, because Tina knows this program quite well, she would agree that it is something really valuable for someone in the business that you operate in. And then transition and pipeline management, because here's one of the things. What happens to your whole entire current business while you're trying to do this? How do you keep your pipeline, your leads, your prospects? How do you keep your pipeline? How do you keep your current revenue flowing and not have a big disruption? We have a transition planning system that we will work with you through in Grow. So there's our 5-step transition plan. You are going to build your virtual brand with our custom virtual brand builder framework. We are going to talk about best practices of online positioning statements, how to refine your message, how to build new opportunities in the digital world. That is the first part of Grow. The first 2 weeks, we dive into this. You're going to learn that good in class doesn't fly in the virtual world. We're going to teach you tricks of the trade facilitation through virtual facilitator boot camp, ladies. And I'm telling you, man, it's a boot camp. You're going to be facilitating Kim and I. We're going to be assessing you. It's going to be fun, and we're going to do that in a loving and friendly way. But we're also going to help you understand.
Don't believe her.
Where your pitfalls are of the trifecta of destruction. And we're going to build your credibility and reputation. Kim and I, as a virtual instructor, Kim and I know how to do that intimately. Liar. Do you know Steve?
I don't know Steve Dotto, Michelle, but I'd love to sit and take him out for lunch for sure.
Okay, you're going to conduct a content package assessment. This is one of the most valuable pieces of the Grow program. I am going to, by we, I mean me, do a content conversion analysis of your content. I'm going to assess it. I'm going to recommend what will work for you in the digital, virtual modality, digital and virtual modality, because those two things are different, and we're going to talk about that in Grow. Many women miss that point. Virtual and digital are not the same game. And then I'm going to tell you, quite frankly, what needs to go. And I might even help you with your in-class content, because I'm just that kind of person. We're going to implement your technology checklist. This is Kim's baby. It has been designed to walk you through the development of your program, your marketing, your communication, your pipeline, the digital systems. We're going to help walk you through it all. Our technology checklist is, quite frankly, one of the most valuable things in my life. And you can see it. Look, it's right behind me, right there. There it is. There it is. You can't see it yet, though, because you're not in the program. You are going to construct a pipeline transition plan. Kim and I are going to work with you both on this. We're going to look at your current pipeline. We're going to talk to you about virtual opportunities, and then we're going to take you through that business transition framework. So in a nutshell, ladies, that is what the Grow program looks like. And that is what you are going to experience when you work with Kim and myself. Now, this is a big remember, and I want you to hear me. I want you to understand this. Nothing that we have shared with you about Grow is theory. Kim and I have both successfully used every single one of these strategies in our own businesses. Every single one. There isn't one we got from someone else or found or discovered.
We have made the mistakes and we have come out on the other end of it, so you don't have to.
Yes, exactly. So none of this is theory. And the more you come to know Kim and myself, I loathe theory. Do you want to know why? From a learning perspective, as a corporate learning expert and professional, theory creates zero sustainability. Theory is you pay, you get a binder, you go in a room, you're really excited. You're excited for 2 days after that, and then you forget everything you learned and you start going back to doing exactly what you did before. That's theory. Theory is not applicable and relevant. Practical things that other people have had experiences with and strategies they have implemented to create success for themselves, that is what Kim and I are all about. We assure you, there's very little theory. There's a little bit of theory in the brand stuff because you got to play a little bit, but other than that, you will not get theory in Grow. That is not our jam.
So Jake, Amy says, what if you don't have content? Does this program lend itself to content creation?
It's a good question. It's a good question. And I think it's one that, Amy, I would argue you have content.
I was just going to say.
You have good content, Amy. I've sat face to face with you. You've got great content. You work with your customers all the time in face-to-face interactions. You've got a ton of content. We guarantee you, you have a ton of content. You have a ton of content. Thank you for that question.
Does the program lend itself to content creation? No, that's not really what Grow is for. But you know, if you're doing any kind of business, you have content already. This is about taking that content and moving it online.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we are not special. We don't have access to exclusive resources and tools. We have a system that works. We did it. If we did it, you can do it too. If we did it, you can do it too. And like Kim said, we might be a little bit special, but we have a system and our system works. So what will Grow do for your business? What you will create in Grow, a strong virtual brand. And I think you heard that loud and clear today. Even if you think you're taking baby steps, we can help you create a strong virtual brand. You are going to create best in market virtual facilitation skills. Trust me when I tell you. If you have ever been on my LinkedIn profile, you are dealing with someone who could help you do that. There are, literally way too many people who have weighed in on my LinkedIn. It's almost embarrassing about my virtual facilitation skills. It's an important thing, and it's something that we're going to pass on to you, not only for more professional type of virtual facilitation, but lighter, funner, smaller group, one-on-one, two-on-one, four-on-one, you name it, Facebook Live, you name it. We're going to help you know how to do that from a virtual facilitation perspective. Captivating online content. Captivating. It's one of our favorite words. Hey, Kim?
Well, it has to be, because you have not the same, you don't have the attention that you have in offline. So captivating them is key.
Absolutely. And valuable technology maps. As Kim already mentioned, valuable technology map. We're going to map all of that out for you. And business transition plan and an active digital pipeline. Again, there's the transition plan, but you can't read it yet. You will be able to soon, though. What you will get from us, you are going to get our complete Grow transition system. You're going to get bi-weekly content guiding you through the steps. You're going to get blended learning. So online, you're going to get videos, you're going to get small group, you're going to get coaching with Kim and I. This is a very interactive program. This is working with you in your business. You're going to get 20 videos to watch again and again as you go. Some of them are 45 seconds of Kim and I laughing hysterically because we're talking about ridiculous things, but they really matter. So you're going to get a significant amount of video content where you're going to be able to listen to it back at your leisure and use it when you need to. We are going to leave you with lots of gems as you go along. And you're going to be a member of a private members only group with Kim and I, where we're going to be doing Facebook Live facilitations, working with you one-on-one. We're going to have you facilitating us. It's going to be a really interactive experience for you as you move towards this transition in your business. So what are the top 3 things you want for your business? On page 14, I want you to look at this page after the summit. I want you to turn everything off when we're done. I want you to sit quietly, and I want you to write these 3 things. I want you to think about it. Then we want you to ask yourself, when do you want them to happen? We hazard a guess that it's quite expediently because you showed up today. Now we're going to ask you what you're going to do about it. This is where Kim and I see numerous women entrepreneurs stop dead in their tracks. They want to grow their businesses. They want to make it happen. They want to do it. When you ask them what they're going to do about it, cat, dog on ice, cat on ice. Stop. We don't want that to be you. So what are you going to do about it? Now, what does this all look like on the ground? So Kim, should we take them to the lab quickly?
Great, let's do it.
Okay. Do you want to do that or do you want me to do it?
You go ahead unless you'd like me to.
Why don't you go for it?
Okay. So
we're going to visit the Learning Lab, ladies, for those of you who haven't been there yet.
Should we go over to Grow to start with, Jake?
Yeah, let's just go right to Grow.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to move these. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, we are.
Fabulous. So this is the LEAP Learning Lab. Jake, do you want to walk us through this as I scroll?
Yes, I will. Absolutely. Ladies, this is your Grow homepage. So if you click I'm ready to grow, Kim, it'll take us to a quick outline of the women that are on the phone. So you have an established service-based business. We've talked about it. Transition your classroom brand reputation. Now, I'm not talking literal classroom. We're talking coaching sessions. We're talking one-on-one work, two-on-one work, four-on-one work, whatever it is. Take your workshops and seminars you facilitate and create that meaningful virtual connection. Share your flagship program. Diversify that revenue. Very important. And expand. So we've walked you through all of the weeks of Grow. You already know and understand what that looks like. So what happens for you ladies now? If you go right here, you will see there is a big green here. That is where you apply for the Grow program. It is an application process. When you click here on the Learning Lab, this form will open up and you can apply to the program. You will then go into, and I think a couple of you are already there. Amy, I know you are. We're talking later this week, to a session with me where, and Kim, where we will look at your application and we will have some of these conversations we've had today on this session.
And Jake, can we just mention what we're doing for intake as far as limited numbers here?
Absolutely. So we are doing 4 intakes of 10 women. We are only accepting 40 women into Grow this year. And the reason for that is, as we've talked about today, it's a very interactive, very intimate program. This is for women who are ready. This is for women who want to do and put into action the strategies that we've talked about today. So we are doing an intake in April, June, September, and November. Even if you can't do April, get your application in anyway, because we're only taking 40 women. So you want to get your application in right away.
40 women this whole year.
Of your 40 in the whole year. Absolutely. So you can imagine with the demand for the program, because Kim and I talk to probably 20 women a day about this topic. We want to make sure that you get your applications in. Okay, Kim, we can go back to the PowerPoint.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm actually just going to drop the link in here, Jake.
Yes, please do.
To the Grow page that we just had a look at.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, ladies, so let's talk about your investment. What is your investment for the Grow program? To apply today.
Sorry, Jake, we're seeing you. Are you wanting to see a PowerPoint?
Yep.
Okay, so you just got a screen share at the bottom there.
I got it.
Perfect.
There we go. You seeing it? There we go.
Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you. So the Grow program. Once you're accepted into the program, there is not a fee to apply to the program. Kim and I want to help you understand that. Grow is $597 or 2 payments of $299. So Michelle's asking intake dates again. April, June, September, November. 10 women.
Yep. So you want to get your application in as soon as possible, Michelle?
Absolutely. So the program investment for you and your business is $597 or 2 payments of $299.
And I have to tell you, Jake, I'm just going to speak to the pricing here for a second, because I deal with so many online courses and have spent thousands and thousands and thousands on courses over the years. To get into a program like this that is so hands-on for $597, I haven't seen anything like it, Jake. That's the truth. And I spend my entire, as you know, I spend my entire, life online.
Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for that, Kim, and you know what that reason is. We set the pricing on this program without a barrier to entry.
Yeah.
And the reason Kim and I set the program pricing without a barrier to entry is because it matters. I founded the Learning Lab because I want to provide accessible opportunities for women in Canada to grow their businesses, take their businesses online, learn to lead, you name it. I have a team of women who all feel exactly the same. And that is why we priced this program the way we did. Now, there's something else that's going to matter to a few of you on the call today. Why today? Why do you want to get in? After successfully completing Grow this year, 30 of those women will be invited to showcase their online brand and deliver their offering to their audience through the Learning Lab on our featured instructor roster. Now, Karina Walsh is on the session today with us, and Karina is one of our lead instructors. The next round of women we are bringing into the lab are featured instructors. And you will work with Kim and I to do your entire transition onto our technology and into the Learning Lab. So what does that look like? And why does that opportunity matter to you? Remember the obstacles we talked about? Well, we removed them. And we're going to show you how. We remove your technology investments. And in Grow, you're going to come to understand exactly the dollar amount of those technology investments, which is why Kim said that the price of our program is a little bit astounding, because it really is if you look at the cost of investment to go online. Mm-hmm. You get to work 2-on-1 with Kim and Jake to complete an onboarding package. We have an onboarding package. No, that's not the case, Andrea. Complete onboarding package. We can get you up and running in 60 days with our systems and our content marketing plans. You're going to gain exposure in a high traffic marketplace for women entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators. You ladies have seen who is on that platform. You would be joining all of those fabulous women right alongside of them and their programs. You're going to be a part of a growing team of successful, motivated Canadian women. and you are going to benefit from our marketing efforts. We will promote you. And as you go through Grow, you will come to understand how significant the marketing and technology investment in marketing is when you want to make this transition.
Jake, I'm just going to jump in here for a sec. So Michelle has a question. She says, I'm just going in pre-launch of my Pilates studio as mobile between now and September. So focus is there, but November would work as a possible start date. Do you want to talk to her about that as this program relates to her taking her stuff online right now?
Yes. Sorry, where am I seeing this question?
Yeah, so from Michelle.
Okay.
I'm pre-launching my Pilates studio.
Okay, so Michelle, what you're exactly talking about is what you can do as a Grow graduate.
Except
you would have your own page on our technology. So instead of having to go and invest in all of the technology on your own and launch your own program on a platform and make those technology investments, you would be able to launch your Pilates brand and your online offering on your own page on the Learning Lab platform. So you are expressing exactly why women do not grow their brands online, because so many of them go and launch on their own instead of joining collective communities to launch their brands and programs.
Oh, Michelle says, I meant as timing. I'm doing my relaunch first as in-person and then also move into online. Yeah, I was just looking at this thinking, Michelle, this actually is the perfect program for you because I don't know how much, I mean, it sounds like you're just starting to move online. And so the information that you're going to get in the Grow program and what you're going to be able to implement is going to actually allow you to do that. Without you having to navigate that whole thing on your own.
Yes, absolutely. Dawn is asking us about intellectual property. Yes, ladies, your intellectual property remains yours. Just like all of the women, just like Tina and Mary Beth in Publish, Shar and Steely and Speak, their intellectual property for their programs is theirs and yours remains yours as well.
Sorry, Jake, can we just clarify? So Grow program is not getting their online learning on our platform.
No.
Right? So I just want to clarify that so that line's not blurred. The Grow program allows you to take your offline offerings and move into the online space.
Yes.
And then Jake's talking about, you know, after that, there is an opportunity, potentially an opportunity to come onto the LEAP platform with your learning materials. But those are two sort of separate things. So, you know, so I just wanted to clarify that, Jake.
Yes, absolutely. So as it relates to the Grow program, we teach you all of what we talked about today in the Grow program, and 30 women will have the opportunity to apply to have their program on the lab. It is not a given. It's right. Another application process. And by the end of Grow, we will have a really good idea of who those 30 women are going to be based on the content, based on how they did in the program, based on their willingness and understanding of how to grow their online brands. It's a very specific woman we're looking for our featured instructor onboarding program. Yes, it's a 10-week program. Yes, Jody, that is correct. That is correct.
So Jody says it's a 10-week program, then 60 days from graduation, we could be launched on the LEAP platform. Is that right? I'm just reading this out loud for anyone who can't access the chat.
Yes, that is right.
Okay.
That is right.
Anyone else have any other questions about the Grow program? Intake dates again, Jake?
April, June, September, late November.
Which means that you need to apply before that. Amy says, how much in-person coaching by YouTube versus videos, etc.?
You'll have to find out, Amy. No, I'm just kidding. We have weekly in-person in the private members group. There's also approximately 4 videos per module.
It's a very intimate program, Amy. It's not your typical buy an online course and work through it at your own pace. We work through it together, and it's a very hands-on program. And again, we're only taking 10 women per intake.
Donna Marie, if you choose to come into the GROW program and you choose to launch your own program on your own website, that's exactly why the GROW program exists. And not everyone through GROW will even be invited to be on the platform. So again, we want to be clear about that there will only be 30 women invited to do that. And there will be a significant amount of women who come through the GROW program that will want to go and do it on your own. Kim and I have a solution for that as well. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Lots of hands-on. Thank you. Yes, Amy, it is very hands-on. All right, I think we've handled all the questions. Have we not, Kim?
I think we have. Hold on one sec. Donna Marie says, so if we're invited to put our online courses on LEAP and our own website.
You probably wouldn't want to do that, Donna Marie, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. And you'll come to understand why that's the case as you go.
Yeah, I think that's it, Jake, and we've gone a little bit over time, so we should wrap it up.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, ladies, I'm sure this is going through your mind. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't have enough content. We've heard that today. Technology scares me. We've heard that a lot. Will I resonate online? We talked about that today. Here's our final thing we're going to leave you with, is why Kim and I are the right people to help you do this in your journey in the GROW program. We both have a significant amount of depth in doing exactly what we've talked about with you today. As I said, there is not a lot of theory involved in the GROW program or in how Kim and I manage our program. All right, ladies, are there any other final questions? If there are, you know where to find Kim and I. You'll receive some communications from us. As we've said, please get your applications in. 40 women is certainly not a big number. I think we've already got a few. So we want to make sure that we can get all of your applications reviewed and get all of you ready to go and happening in the program.
Thank you, ladies. Donna Marie says thank you, and Jody and Diana, thank you, ladies, for taking time out of your day to join us and learn more about the GROW program, and for us to learn a little bit more about you in this webinar as well.
Absolutely. And use your workbooks. Make sure you get off the session and you do your writing about the things that we asked you to think about. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.
Hope to see you again. Bye.
Bye for now.